Hello, everybody. I'm really excited that you are here. This is my inaugural episode of No Doubt. I have been feeling for quite some time that I would like to share with you why I believe that God is real. And I want to do that by using things in nature like animals and landscapes and processes that we know that happen in nature. I was thinking about how we all have different perspectives and we all see things a little bit differently. And I was having a conversation with my 89-year-old friend recently who was showing me this picture of her wedding day. This was taken in 1950, and she was describing this beautiful blue dress, and she talked about the corsage that she was wearing. And she said, "Look at my husband. Isn't he handsome in that light blue suit?" And I said, "I don't know. It's black and white. I can't see it." And I thought about how so many of us see from different perspectives, and we can't always see what the other person sees. And this is exactly my point in sharing these ideas with you about what God offers us to look at in nature to see clearly. I want to use one of my favorite things, which is the butterfly. This butterfly in particular is the owl butterfly. And probably 20 years ago, I went to Costa Rica on the coattails of some Costa Rican friends, and they took me to a butterfly farm. And that's the first time I learned about this owl butterfly. As you can probably see, one of the characteristics of this guy is that big eye that is on his wing. And he's also, as most butterflies, they love fermented fruit and they'll just congregate there to eat. This butterfly happens to be nocturnal, so in the day he just hangs out and eats. But what we see on the owl butterfly is this big eyeball on the wing. And I believe God has placed this as its defense. All animals have a defense mechanism, which we're going to talk about as we go through these episodes each week. And this eyeball, as you can see, is on the back wing. And it would scare someone away, a predator who would be after it and think, "Oh my, that's big. The eyeball is big." And if you look at an owl butterfly, you can Google it, and you look at it turned upside down, it looks like an owl. And so it has two big eyes, which of course would scare away a lot of predators. It's also pretty common knowledge that in the animal kingdom, often what they attack is the weakest, which is generally the eyes. And so if this butterfly were attacked, it would just lose a piece of its wing and still be able to fly. By the way, I didn't tell you that this is a Central and South American butterfly for the most part. So I love that about the butterfly. And I don't think it's an accident that God created this butterfly with this beautiful eyeball that in turn is its defense mechanism. When I was in Costa Rica, the butterfly handler picked up one of these butterflies, and he said, "And look at this." He said, "If the butterfly is under attack by something that would be afraid of a snake, it can mimic a snake." And I was like, "What?" And the butterfly, or the handler, took the butterfly and kind of folded its wings. And if you look in this picture, the one on the right, you can see the profile of a snake. And he talked about how this butterfly would then flutter and make it look like a snake that's about to attack. If you go out online, you can also look for a video of one of these butterflies in action as a snake, which again is pretty cool. So the scripture that has taken a hold of me when I was a teenager is in Romans. It's in the first chapter of Romans. And this is the most liberal version of that particular scripture. And it says, "By taking a long and thoughtful look at what God has created, we have always been able to see what our eyes as such can't see." And he's talking here about God's sovereignty, God's eternal power, the mystery of God and who he is and his divine being. And yet he's given us clues, even in our own backyards, as to how we can see and understand his power by looking through nature. So this is what I hope to bring to us as we go throughout the weeks. I've titled this No Doubt because I don't believe for a minute that there is no God. I believe that there is no doubt when we look around this earth that God is real, God is in power, and God is the creator. I hope you have a great week, and I hope to see you back here next week.